What is going on? Did we just get rid of the intro, X-Ray Girl? What the hell was that?
Sorry.
What the hell was that?
My bad.
Good thing I wasn't picking my nose. Let's go. Hey, everybody. I thought I had a whole intro to get more ready, but I guess I don't. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner on Monday, live on Rumble. What's up, Rumble people? Are Rumble people out there? I don't see any Rumble people in the chat. I see YouTube people. And hello, YouTube people. Hello, everybody on Nerdrotic Live. Hope you're doing swell. We're going to be doing some squaring up, and that's why we keep the super. Sometimes we keep them on if I have extra time. I actually got to put the ending on a video today. So, and we also like to give the square up super chats their due. And that's what we gonna do. There's a Rumble person. I don't know why I don't see you. I don't know why I don't see more Rumble people. Like the YouTube people are dominating the Rumble people right now. Jared of the Dead says, "Shut up! I'm listening at work. I can't participate." That's cool. I'm good. I will try to keep it. I'm not going to keep it civil, buddy. Hope you got headphones on. There we go. Glowy account. There we go. Hail, everybody. King Oroso. We got Noons, my lady. See you in Egypt. Fresh Snow. 101 Corn Pop. God, I hate this. It goes back and forth. Sometimes there's no @ in front of the names for YouTube, and sometimes there is. What's up, Psychotic Mongoose? How's it going, brother? I look forward to your next embarrassing X-Ray Girl clip. They are simply a joy. They are a joy. Zeno Gogavinci. Yeah, Water Faucet. That's easier to pronounce. Silent Watcher. Eric the Mod. Lord Thoth. Pazuzu. JB Spooky Review. It's going well. I'm getting a little caffeinated here. I've got my yeah, it's gay, but man, these things jack you up. The cortado, and then I have some Geek grind. So I'm mixing my coffees today. I got my awesome Ghost Rider shirt on. And we're going to talk about some entertainment stuff too. Interesting stuff going on right now. And the video I'm working on, it's a little different. We're doing a culture check-in again. It's been a while since I've done a woke Hollywood, woke culture. Yes, it's still around. And that's the question of the video. I don't know if that's going to be the title or not, but it's going to be is woke really dead? Y-Files says, God, Y-Files made me cry at the end. Y-Files is dude, the one where he's talking about his dad or his father-in-law, where AJ's talking about his father-in-law and Agent Orange. That one gets you right in the heart. It just pierces you in the heart. That one's whoo. I've watched it 3 times. It's rough, but it's AJ just letting it all hang out, man. God bless that guy. Fucking Agent Orange video is awesome. It's so good. I don't think mine will make you cry at the end. No. I don't think mine. Got a lot of good feedback on the Doctor Who video. That the Perry, that's Perry keeps, like, his next video keeps being his best editing job ever. But he did top 10 Star Wars, which was just hit 1 million views, by the way. Evergreen, baby. And the Doctor Who one, which is going to hit 1 million views. Perry's like, I don't think so. I'm like, give it a year, maybe 2. It'll hit 1 million because you edited it so good. And that ending was just like, we both worked on that ending. It was heartfelt. It was a heartfelt ending. And that's kind of where we're at with our IPs, right? We get our little victories, and stuff, but and I really hate this term. I almost hate it as much as it is what it is, but at the end of the day, but we can say at the end of this era, at the end of the franchise, we lost. And it sucks. I think at this point, we are just hoping that the people who destroyed the things we love get punished, and punished with another job. Go work somewhere else. You suck. You lose the right to creativity because you took something beautiful and turned it into shit. And that should blacklist you from anything entertaining. You shouldn't be allowed to write the instructions on a box of toothpicks. And, you know, we kind of saw that with Jar Jar. He ain't getting work. Tried to get a show out. It's canceled. But Alex Kurtzman keeps getting rewarded. Skydance is taking over Paramount. That fucker's still employed. So if anybody's all Ellison, yeah, he's a Nepo baby. He's a billionaire's son, and his daddy bought him a studio because he liked the movies. Okay, great. Skydance has done some decent stuff. Okay, they have. No doubt. They have also brought us some horrible Jar Jar treks, some of the worst, some of the fucking worst, Into Darkness and Beyond. That's Skydance. You know, outside of Tom Cruise, I don't know what else there is to show. My good friend Robert Meyer Burnett, who I love and respect, says the guy's for real. Like, this guy's going to change things. I'll believe it when I see it. Or as of right now, Alex Kurtzman's still employed, and he shouldn't be, because he destroyed one of my feel-good places is Star Trek. It was like, I've told the story before. I went out, you know, in the 90s. I'd do my day job, delivering parts, selling parts, whatever it was, and then working retail at night. Yeah, 2 jobs. I know, Gen Z. We had it way easier than you did. We had it way easier. We had it way easier in my cockroach-infested apartment that I had to train my cat to hunt fucking cockroaches, and I was happy to have it. Planes flying over every 5 minutes because I was fucking 2 minutes. I was like 200 yards from the end of the fucking runway at an airport, but we had it so much easier. Don't get me started. But I digress. Star Trek was my happy place. That's where I'd go home and there'd be a Star Trek, some form of Star Trek on in the afternoon all the time. Yeah. So it's a bummer. It's actually a bummer. So that end of that Doctor Who video was me expressing, like, after all is said and done and all this shit and the dust settled, what did I say? I said this in one of my first Doctor Who videos. We'll be here. Once everybody's over the nerd dome and all this shit and they fucked over everything we loved, and we'll be just sifting through the ashes because we're nerds. It's not something we turn on or turn off or anything like that. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. I'm going to read a sponsor, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about Gavin Newsom. Eric's been sending me stuff. I've been keeping an eye on it. A lot more people are starting to figure out that this guy is a fucking slimeball. He's an auton. He's an empty shell. He's an empty shell, and he is an avatar for the system. He is an avatar for the elite. He is an avatar for the big banks. He is an avatar that can be controlled. Very manipulative person, been in power for many, 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 many years. He was my mayor. He was my lieutenant governor. He was my governor. He was recalled with a massive recall, and then somehow won his recall in a landslide, and it had nothing to do with the mail-in ballots. And if you suggested it much, you are an election denier, a traitor to this country. We'll talk about fire aid. This is just the ad. And you know what those you know what the elite secret societies, all that shit I believe in. You know why they want to spy on you? Well, data is power, and they want to hear everything. They want to sell you everything possible. And, you know, just in the future, if need be, use some shit against you. Who knows? Who knows? And that's why a lot of them really love the AI. They love the AI more than Shad loves AI because they can spy on you in new and different ways. Now, I know some people don't care, and that's great. You don't care until you need to care. But with Venice AI, it lets you use AI without handing over your sensitive information with features like messages or encrypt messages with features like messages are encrypted and your conversation history is stored only in a browser. AI can be extremely valuable, but we shouldn't need to give up our privacy to use it. Venice utilizes leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation to your web browser. There's no downloads, no installations of anything. The Venice Pro plan unlocks the full platform and features including PDF uploads for summaries or insights, the ability to turn off safe mode for unhindered image generation. That's right, guys. Unhindered image generation. Elon's been doing that on his own platform. An ability to change how Venice interacts with you by modifying the system prompt. Limitless text and high image limits. I can hear Shad's excitement from here. If you want to see AI without fear of handing over your most intimate thoughts, right, to a corporation or government, you get 20% off the pro plan using my link, venice.ai/nerdrotic and code nerdrotic, or check out the link below in the description. Thank you. God bless. Thank you. God bless. I have like zero prepared to show you, but we're just going to chit chat real quick about Gavin, because it would just, I was at the gym and I looked at oh God, what's his name? I'm gonna call him a kid. He's a full grown man, but everybody's a kid to me now. Lady Graybass, she's not out there. Melissa's following him. He's a guy, I think he works in the music industry. Okay. And he had a house burn in Palisades. In the Palisades. The chat will know who he is. And he's been doing TikToks and stuff on Twitter damn near daily, kind of reporting what happened with fire aid. So it was just Spencer Pratt. Thank you. Spencer Pratt. Give him a follow. This dude's a fucking beast. I love him. He's my new favorite follow. I watch his shit all the time. Yes, I hate Gavin Newsom. I've always hated Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom was complicit in my wife losing her business. So that's not the kind of shit. You know what? I'm a forgive and forget guy when it comes to like doing shit against me. But you fuck with my loved ones, you fuck with my wife. I'm not so forgiving, and I don't fucking forget. And with Mayor London Breed, that fucking cunt is out of office. Good. Upjet file clerk retard DEI fucking mayor. Damn near buried San Francisco. And then Gavin Newsom, who went to the French Laundry, a restaurant none of us could afford or would even bother going to because the shit's so expensive. And I'm hearing the food ain't that great anyway. But yeah. Well, Karen Bass is a DEI mayor. By the way, mysterious ballot dump. Hail Adrian Curry. Mysterious ballot dump at 3 a.m. during her election. Caruso was in the lead, and all of a sudden, Mayor Bass wins. Such a fucking mystery that somebody who was anointed by fucking Barack Obama wins in the middle of the night. I can't say I've ever heard that instance happening before. Isn't that weird? Isn't that fucking strange? But that DEI cunt mayor is gone. And I know the ladies don't like that work, but man, Mayor London Breed is a cunt. Okay. And I'll tell you why. When she and Gavin decided to shut down the state, they talked about rolling in reopening. All right. And if you're a service industry, if you're a salon, if you're a gym, both places that make people feel better about themselves. I mean, gym's a little better, like objectively. Gym is good because you're working on yourself. salon. Hey, my wife owned a salon. She was great, so I'm going to back her. But when they were reopening it, they're like, well, we're going to limit the capacity. We're like, fine. And you got to buy a bunch of shit, fucking plastic barriers and stuff to the tune of $25,000 to start with. 25,000 motherfucking dollars. So Melissa's going to get all this shit set up, and then she's got to make sure all the employees are compliant and all that stuff, and they're cool. They were cool about it. And they go, well, it's going to be 25% capacity. Oh, we changed our mind. It's 10% capacity. Oh, no, it's going to be 50% capacity. No, it's back down to 15. And if you think I'm joking, that happened over the course of 3 weeks. 3 fucking weeks, to the point where we're just like, fuck it. Like, what are we going to do? So they started speakeasy. Like, I can say it now. My wife started a speakeasy hair salon so we could eat. Right. And then, but that only brought in so many people. And then we had to worry about all the rats, all the fucking snitches, because there were so many and the city was incentivizing it. They were the politicians, the fucking cops were out there going, yes, if you see somebody not complying with this fucking retarded law, not masked up, I want you to turn people in. Meanwhile, the cops, everybody who was running the city, Gavin Newsom, Nancy fucking Pelosi, the greatest stock trader in the history of men and women combined in the universe, we're all partying it up without their masks on. And we all remember when Nancy Pelosi was busted in a salon. What made that one extra bad was my wife's only customer, Nancy Pelosi. Adrian, if my wife's only customer was Nancy Pelosi, I can't say what I would have done. But it's funny, Adrian? It's not funny. Actually, I was consoling my wife for a while for this. She's moving out the chairs of her salon on her last day. She'd already decided to close and she's vacating the premises. And it was her last day at the salon. Emotional day. It's not like I went out of business because I suck. She had the best year. She had her salon's best year up until COVID. So it was like flying high. And then it ended. And this was like her life's dream. Moved to San Francisco. God, I'm all Italian today. Sorry. She moved to San Francisco with like $150 way before I moved there. $150 in her pocket and made it. And it was all gone. And that was the day Nancy got caught. Was the day she was moving out of her salon. So like insult to injury, to rage, to unfettered rage. And you know what? That's how you turn. My wife was like always kind of liberal, right? But not like a stupid liberal. That was the day you turned her into a 2A mama. That was the day. That was the day she red pilled. That was the fucking day. And a lot of people did. A lot of seriously gay dudes red pilled that day. That fucking day. So fuck Gavin Newsom. So the Palisades fire, Adam Carolla warned everybody. And if you've spent any time in California living there for any amount of time, you know how shit runs there. You know how shit runs. It's super, it's over bureaucratic. And it runs well despite itself. So California is such a machine and has been for so long, such an economic machine. You can have literal retards running it for 40 years and it's going to be fine because the general populace, the working man and woman make that fucker run. And that's how much of a machine it is. And we still have the innovation of Silicon Valley. You still had Hollywood back in its glory days. There's tons of industries there. So the politicians were ineffectual and stupid, but then they started like 20 years ago when I couldn't vote. I didn't care because no politician really affected my life. As a very Gen X point of view, it was very stupid at the time. It's stupid now. I understand how stupid, but like, my life's not being affected. No president affected my life. I didn't notice. I noticed zero difference between a Clinton and a Bush in my life, in my active life. Nothing. Zero. Couple little things changed. Radio changed. Healthcare went up pretty big when Clinton took over. I remember it was free when I was a parts delivery driver, and it went up, but generally it didn't affect my fucking life. Then it started affecting our lives. So if you know how California runs, Adam Carolla warned us. They are going to use that Palisades fire, and they're going to get rid of all the houses on the beach. They're going to fill it full of apartments, so they can build up that tax base. Only problem is a lot of their donors, a lot of the people who put them in the office live there, and a lot of the people who make Hollywood run live there. So they're in a bit of a conundrum because they have a plan, they want to see it through, but they have to do it despite where they get a lot of money. So good luck with that. But guess what? They're completely dragging their feet. There's still neighborhoods. There's that one, Spencer Pratt was talking about it. There's that one that was basically the mobile homes, right? They're not mobile homes, but they're more like prefab homes. That's fenced off. People can't even go to their fucking homes. Dude, it is August. It is fucking August. We are set to start. California's about to start burning again. As a matter of fact, California is burning again right now. Oh, it's going to be climate change. Yeah, it's climate change. It's called fucking summer. So California is going to start burning again, and they haven't even started cleaning out, like seriously cleaning out Palisades. It's a crime. And oh, they're rich people. Fuck that. Don't even have that attitude. It's not all rich people. And you know what? It's a rich person's very sad if they lose all their personal possessions and their dog dies in a fire. You know, like, yeah, fuck that attitude. And it's not all rich people. And you know what? I feel bad for the rich people who did nothing wrong. Now, you're seeing who you voted into office. And we're talking specifically to the people who voted for Bass and people like that. And your council person who's a retard too. And hopefully you change your mind over this. But we're also finding out Fire Aid, a bunch of goofy dumb fuck bands lined up to raise money for charity, which they often do, and which often happens like 10 times out of 10 with these aid programs, is none of the money goes to the people you raised it for. It's a nice gesture. It is. It's a nice gesture, but I'd be worried. I'd be like, where is this money going? If like I'm the Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know, I'm Flea, you know, doing a little bass solo, and then I go, where's the money going? Like, can I see? Because I'm like putting my name on this. So where's the money going? Turns out it's going to a bunch of NGOs. I know you're all shocked right now. I might have given some of you a heart attack. I am sorry. But it's going to a bunch of NGOs. It's not going to Palisades. It's going to a bunch of Democrat organizations and DEI organizations, and apparently Gavin Newsom's wife. I know you're shocked again. I might have given you your second heart attack. I'm sorry. So there's a bunch of people out there on top of this, and God bless them. Stay on them like stink on shit. Because if and when Gavin Newsom runs for president, I will be starting a political channel, and it will just be 100% anti-Gavin Newsom 100% of the time. Just going to be really fucking transparent. Because our country is fucked up the ass if he becomes president. More fucked up the ass. I took it personal. I did. I took it personal. Yeah, I mean, as much like I will dislike Gavin Newsom as much as Trump loves Jeremy. If I could, I would go Gladys on him from Weapons. Fantastic movie, by the way. Fantastic movie. But yeah, so Spencer Pratt, follow him. He's funny for one. He's really funny, but he's like a bulldog. I'm rooting like hell for the dude. I'm rooting like hell for the dude. Whew. Spencer Pratt is doing the Lord's work. He is. He is. I'd love to talk to the dude. I really would. We can just shit on Gavin Newsom for 2 hours. That would be so much fun. So much fun. Hail, lady. Sell lots of Avon. Okay. Sell lots of Avon. And happy late birthday. Happy late. All the cool people have birthdays in August. Just want to point that out. Happy belated birthday. Yes, I'm an ex-Californian too. Never thought I'd leave. Not in a million years. I've been gone for 3 years. I haven't missed it for a second. I've gone back a dozen times, and I can't wait to leave every time I get there. I go see mom, see how mom's doing. She's doing fine. I mean, as far as an 85-year-old cranky ass woman could do, but she's doing good. Mom's doing good. Before we get to that, let's talk about some fun entertainment news. Weapons, a movie I watched Friday morning at 10 a.m. A weird movie to watch it Friday morning at 10 a.m. Is killing it at the box office, and Warner Brothers is quietly, not so quietly, having the best year. Despite not having a $1 billion movie, they have had more hits. They'll have more profitable movies, and they're going to make more money than Disney. They're going to make more money than Disney. Now, a couple of their movies I didn't like at all. I think Minecraft was shit. Superman was super mid. Not the worst movie I've seen in the world, and not worth people simping as hard as they are for it, but whatever. This is fandom. That's the way it goes. I just don't see it that way. But the simp energy, well, let's just call it what it is. Let's anoint this now. I know people have already done it, but it's official. It is totally official. Gun Bros are now as bad as Snyder Bros. Just that's it. They are as bad. They have become, in a shorter time, as bad as Snyder Bros. Over one movie. At least Snyder Bros did it over a bunch of movies. And you know what I'm doing? I'm laughing in Donner Bro. I'm a Donner Bro. They're as bad, chat. They are. I've got like Gun Bro reply guys. Like Snyder Bros never really went after me. Like, because I didn't totally shit on Man of Steel. I mean, they're bad movies, but I enjoy them. I enjoy all the badness of them, but I enjoy them. I do. But some shit is just fucking horrible in them. And Zack Snyder was just wrong. Zack Snyder was right for Watchmen. Watchmen is fucking great. Is great. But now I got reply guys coming in on everything I post, even when I'm trying to be funny. It's just like, oh, inflation, baby. It's like, oh, you sick burn, dude. Sorry, I brought up actual facts, and that makes me a baby. I have been served. I have been served. He called me an inflation baby by pointing out that James Gunn Superman is not, and I repeat, is not going to beat Man of Steel. It has no hope of it. That hope has died. It is gone. It is buried. And yes, the Snyder Bros are just waiting for the final number. They are waiting patiently for that final number. And then we're going to see the Gunn Bros fighting the Snyder Bros. And then we're going to say we're going to see shit like the box office doesn't matter. Inflation doesn't matter. Tickets sold doesn't matter. Blah, 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 blah. And like, it'll even be worse. And there's a great possibility this could happen. If Superman's James Gunn doesn't make more without adjusting for inflation than Man of Steel, it'll be so much worse. Now, I personally doesn't change. Both the movies are not very good Superman movies. They're both not very good Superman movies. I would probably lean to Man of Steel being a more serious Superman movie that focuses on Superman. A little too serious in my. I like some of the comic book stuff of James Gunn. I just wish there was a story in there, which there wasn't. And I wish Superman didn't get his ass kicked for 2 fucking hours, which he did. And that Jor-El shit was fucking retarded. But people like that. That's great. But the fighting over it is hilarious. It is fucking hilarious. So we'll see when it's all said and done. I mean, are the Gunn fans gonna like claim victory if I think Man of Steel did what 668, and if James Gunn Superman does like 670, are they gonna go gotcha? I mean, it's like, dude, it's cool that you like the movie. It's not this runaway hit. It's just not. It's a mid movie that performed midly. That's a word. It's what it is. It's a mid movie that performed kind of mediocre. I'd also like to point out that there are the very same people who have said, and we're just looking for consistency here. I don't care what movie you like more. If you like James Gunn Superman more and you think that's great. But for consistency's sake, the people who said Man of Steel was a underperforming movie, some of the same people have said The Batman, which was another mid movie with a shitty third act, underperformed. Some people were saying the second one wouldn't even get made, and it still might not. It's taken a long time. Are saying James Gunn Superman's a success, although James Gunn Superman is not going to make as much money as the Man of Steel, which was released in 2013, and the Batman, which was released right after COVID, and a 3-hour movie. A 3-hour movie. So it was played fewer times than James Gunn Superman and made more money. Now, where Man of Steel wins outright, unquestionably, is tickets sold. It sold more tickets than James Gunn Superman. James Gunn Superman doesn't have a fucking prayer of selling more tickets than Man of Steel. Man of Steel is so far ahead in that department. So tickets sold, butts and seats, more people watched in theaters Man of Steel than James Gunn Superman. I know shit's different now. They're streaming. But what offsets that is the ticket prices are ridiculous now. They're utterly ridiculous. IMAX tickets are ridiculous. So that pads the numbers. So I mean, it'll be fun to watch the cult, but it's looking like Man of Steel is going to beat it. And I wanted Superman to be the best movie of the year. And guess what? F1 is better than Superman. Light years better than Superman. Weapons is light years better than Superman. So if you want to see if you're a Warner Brothers fan, go watch Weapons. Weapons is an episode of Tales from the Dark Side. For one, admittedly, horror anthology, science fiction, fantasy anthology is my jam. I grew up watching The Twilight Zone, which to this day is the greatest written television show in the history of television shows. Even the second one from the 80s is up there. It had nothing to do with the late, great Rod Serling, who died very early. Smoked way too much. But I'm a huge fan of those shows. I grew up on them. I grew up on Outer Limits, Alfred Hitchcock, Twilight Zone, Night Gallery, fucking Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Crypt, Friday the 13th, the TV show, just to name a few. Just to name a few. Watched them all. Loved them all. Adore those types of shows. That's what I really liked about Haunting of Hill House. Like Flanagan felt kind of like that. And that's what this feels like. That's what this feels like. I think we're going to spoil it tomorrow. I'm not going to spoil it here. You saw the trailers. Bunch of kids at 2:17 a.m. Naruto run. Naruto. You know what I'm saying. The guy from Shonen Jump, this fucking magazine I used to sell in my store. Run out of their house, never to return. Never to return. Time passes. They're all from one classroom, and the teacher is the female Silver Surfer. One of the parents of the missing kids is Thanos. Another person who works at the school is Wong. Another character is Zeke Stain from Ironheart. Lots of Marvel characters in this, put in a very different situation, and I like them a lot better, to be honest with you. And it's the mystery of the kids, and it's told from perspective. So if you're a fan of the perspective, like Quentin Tarantino, but if you read books, George R. Martin, or The Expanse, so you see the same point of time from 4 to 5 different perspectives, and you kind of piece it together. It's deliberate. It's creepy. It spends a lot of time setting things up. What's weird is like it's gory, but I mean, I'm a Sam Raimi guy. I've seen so much worse. So there's like 3 instances of legit gore, like good stuff. If you like that stuff, if you don't, it's only 3 instances. You can cover your eyes or whatever. It's also the type of horror I like. I won't particularly spoil that part. I am not a fan of slasher movies outside of the first Friday 13th and Halloween, which is one of the greatest all-time films ever made. Fucking John Carpenter's legend. But I don't like I Know What You Did Last Summer and stupid shit like that. I don't like slashy. I hate Saw. I fucking hate Saw because I don't like torture porn. I think torture porn's a fetish, and I think it's weird. There used to be some Warren Ellis comics that he sold through, oh my God, Avatar Press, guys? God, I've slept since then. Avatar Press. So Warren Ellis did a couple of books that are just fucking torture porn, and I wouldn't put them on my shelf. I treat them like porn. So people could special order them, but I wouldn't put them on my shelf because I wanted to be kid friendly. Plus, I just fucking hated that shit. Where do I stand on Poltergeist here? Poltergeist, one of the greatest horror movies ever made, the greatest PG horror movie ever made. I saw that my mom took me and my classmates because I saw that on the day I graduated 6th grade. And my mom took us all, me and piled us into the Ford LTD station wagon, and we all saw Poltergeist. It was great. It was great. Yeah, I don't like Terrifier. None of that stuff. I like Haunting of Hill House. I like The Shining is a perfect horror movie for me. The Thing. That one's The Thing, The Shining, The Exorcist. If you want like goat horror movies. And it's mood. I like science fiction and supernatural stuff. Egger's Witch. Good shit. But Weapons is deliberate. The performances are great. Pedro Pascal being in this movie would have completely fucking ruined it. Like, completely ruined it. Thank God he wasn't in it. Josh Brolin, who's a much better actor, has this thing called charisma. You ever heard of it? The kids call it Riz. That's fucking gay. It's called charisma. Kiss wrote a whole song about it. Gene Simmons sings it. And there's good word of mouth. The projections were, it has a $38 million budget, and that's pretty much what its projections were, 30 to 40 something. It beat that. I think it did 42 million over the weekend. And I think it's going to have some legs. I'm going to rewatch it again because it's deliberate. Some people were saying it's slow. I completely disagree. I was engaged in the story the whole fucking time, and I kind of want to give it a second viewing now. What some people aren't going to like, but I loved, is while there's ambiguity at the end, there is some. It tells you what the thing is. Like, distinctly tells you what it is. You're not going to go, it was a mystery. Now, there is some mystery about the thing, but it tells you. And it does something at the end, and I'm laughing. That was genuinely funny. Like, and I know some people are like, I shouldn't be humor. It's like, I'm a Raimi guy, dude. I like laughing at my horror. Okay. I'm watching Ash versus Evil Dead, one of the greatest TV shows ever made, and I'm watching Ash get attacked by an asshole. Okay, by a literal, like, a butt, a fucking deadite butt is attacking Ash, and it's the funniest fucking thing, and it's so gross, and I love it. That was in season. Oh God, it was so fun. I was dying when I saw. Oh shit, Ash versus Evil Dead was so fucking good and so bloody. Oh. When the little deadite came out that looked like a little walking dick, and he just gets up and goes, "Fuck you, Ash!" It's so fucking funny, dude. You have to see it. Oh, I was dying. It's 30-minute episodes. I think it's on Showtime still. If you haven't seen it, it's on the level of Cobra Kai as far as bringing back a legacy character, introducing new characters, and like it being a perfect fit. Like, that's how you do it. That's how you bring back an older property. And it's because Sam Raimi was directly involved. And it's as good as the movies, dude. Like, you have to watch it. So you watch the movies, and then you have to watch Ash versus Evil Dead. It opens up. He's trying to impress a date. He's in his mobile home, and he's trying to impress a date. So he gets stoned, and then he reads out of the Necronomicon like it's poetry, like he's reading her poetry. And then so he didn't think about it because he was so fucking stoned. And then he hears the Deadites are coming back. And he's like, how in the fuck did the Deadites come back? And then he goes home and he picks it up and he opens up and a bag of weed falls out. And he goes, oh, fuck. And that's, that's so good. I love that show so much. And now I need to rewatch it. It's spooky time too. God damn, that show is funny. International box office, Weapons picks up 27.5 million. Jurassic, wait a minute. Does that say Superman? I think they misspelled Superman, because what I've been seeing all over Twitter is Superman's James Gunn is like the biggest success of the summer. It's the bestest thing of the summer. Like, oh, we're shitting all over Fantastic Four, which is worth shitting on, and we'll get to that. But somehow Superman is this high piece of art, reinventing the superhero genre, leveling it up to its great third age. but it looks like they misspelled Superman. And they spelled it the 7th dinosaur movie. The 7th really bad dinosaur movie hits $800 million worldwide. What? I thought Superman was Best Picture this year. $800 million for the 7th dinosaur movie, which curb stomped both superhero movies. One much worse than the other, but it curb stomped them. Neither of them. Well, Fantastic Four, I don't think it might not make it to 500 million. Yeah, Superman ain't making it to 800 million. Maybe if they didn't put it to digital. Oh wait, it goes to digital in like 2 weeks. I seem to recall somebody saying Superman was going to go to digital on August 15th. And then James Gunn chiming in and goes, it's way after that. Well, I guess way after that is 11 days. I guess that's way now is 11 days. But let's go back to a movie I loved. Weapons. Zach Cregger's critically acclaimed horror film about a community of rocked by the mysterious disappearance of 17 children scored at the international box office. The film, which topped domestic charts in its opening weekend, picked up $27.5 million from 73 international markets to bring its global haul to $70 million. Not bad. Doubling your production budget in a weekend. Now, it still hasn't, listen, Superman fans, it still hasn't broken even. It has not, but it did double its production budget, not marketing, production budget in one weekend, which is pretty good. This is going to make money. This is going to be a profitable movie. Weapons was released by Warner Brothers, a new line, and stars Julia Garner, not Jennifer Garner. That's what I said on Friday. Josh Brolin, Orville Redenbacher, Austin Abrams, Benedict Wong, and Amy Madigan. By the way, I will give you one spoiler. This movie buries its gays. Among the most notable foreign territories, Weapons performed well in the UK, where it has earned $3.6 million. Mexico, where it picked up 2.7. They love their horror in Mexico. I mean, like, aside from real life. France, where it nabbed $2 million, and Australia, where it grossed $1.8 million. Horror films traditionally perform better in the U.S. than in other parts of the world. South America likes their horror, for sure. Like, for sure. They like their metal, and they like their horror. They also like their communism. It's just, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. The weekend's other major new releases are Freaky Friday. Fuck that. I don't care. Jamie Lee Curtis, who just went off the rails with the whole, I think does she have a trans kid too? I'm just going to assume everybody's got trans kids. What sucks is I met her at a Starbucks coming back from the last Coachella we went to, which was, God, I wish my wife was here to tell me. I want to say 10 years ago. We were driving back and I'm in a Starbucks and I look up and Jamie Lee Curtis she goes, hi, how you doing? She says hi to me. I'm good. Good. Had a little chit chat. She was nice. But I don't care now. Disney and Marvel's Fantastic Four missteps, last steps, 12 steps, whatever you want to call it, earned $17.5 million internationally over the weekend. That brings the comic book adaptation's global gross to $434.2 million after 3 weeks of release before COVID. Marvel movies routinely hit $1 billion at the box office, but ticket sales for superhero films have fallen more recently. Fantastic Four may end its run having earned less than Superman, which is produced by its rival DC Studios. Superman's global haul stands at $578.8 million. The massive runaway success of 578.8 million. Super duper, ooper, pooper successful film. After the film earned 5.8 million internationally, it's going to do better than Fantastic Four, which is kind of funny. See, I get to enjoy all this. In terms of milestones, Universal's Jurassic World Rebirth has prison raped them both, earning 16 million overseas, which means it will pass the $800 million mark at some point in the next few hours. That's an impressive result, but it may not match the more than 1 billion the Jurassic World Dominion, and nor did they expect it. They are probably stoked they hit 800 million. They're like, these motherfuckers went and saw this shit again. We just remade the first one way worse. We made $800 million. The most recent film in the franchise grossed, it did cost 180 million, which is tens of millions less than the other Jurassic installments. The studio's animated sequel, The Bad Guys 2, picked up 9.3 blah, 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 blah. So I would highly recommend, if unless you just don't like horror movies, but this isn't as much of a horror movie as it is a suspense movie. And like, there's so many low budget horror movies now, dime a dozen, that they make a lot of money. Occasionally, like, you get a Barbarian, or you get something that's, you know, good that people like or somewhat like. Jordan Peele created this. I don't like Jordan Peele movies at all. But this one stands out for me because of it. We'll have to discuss that in the spoiler section, but this one stands out for me because it felt a little different and embraced fun. And you're like, what? A suspenseful movie that has you on the edge of your seat, but it can still be fun. So that part I like. I like it when they embrace entertainment and entertaining me. And I walked out of the theater with my wife with a big old smile on my face, and we were both discussing the film, and we talked about it for like 40 minutes after that. Like, and I used to do that every weekend, and it's now like, that's the first time I've done that this year. Yes, I did like it better than Sinners. I did. Sinners is like 7 out of 10 for me. I thought it was good. Well shot. I think it's one of Coogler's best directed movies. I'm a fan of the blues, so I like the music, but I thought this was way better. Not just better, way better. Do I like it? Disparew's like, do you like it more than F1? It's like, I'll see them both again the same. So they're tied. We'll just say they're tied. I'm gonna go see F1 in IMAX tomorrow, I think. I can't fucking wait. Yeah, so Fantastic Four is losing the IMAX screens, and they're going back to F1. F1's at 570 worldwide, which is great. But, you know, again, listen, Superman fans, I love the movie. It's better than Superman. It's not going to make any money because it costs 300 million. And that's just the production budget. Now, the only difference may be is Amazon was able to sell sponsorships like on the cars, and they might have recouped a lot of their losses, and Apple doing that. I don't know how much, though. I don't know. But great movie. Weapons. The year's not over yet, but I would, I'd say go see it. Go see it in the theater. Don't let people tell you what it's about. We tried really hard not to spoil anything on Friday Night Tights, which is really unusual for us. But I hope you like it. I do. F1 greater than F4 greater than Soups. You're not wrong. F1 is the best like traditional tentpole movie of the summer. It is F1. Kaczynski should direct a Superman movie. He would be perfect for directed. The guy who directed Tron Legacy, Top Gun Maverick, and F1 would be a perfect director for Superman. James Gunn is not the perfect director for Super. As a matter of fact, he's one of the worst. He's one of the worst. James Gunn's Superman is his worst film. And it's unquestionable that it's his worst film. And I like the guy's work. I was just thinking, I love Guardians 1. I know there's some revisionist stuff on that. Guardians 1 is great. So I'm gonna let's stack up James Gunn's best film to Zack Snyder's best film. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 is James Gunn's best film. Zack Snyder's best film is the fucking 4-hour full-on director's cut of Watchmen. Which one's better? I am looking for something. Give me a moment. Where to go? God damn, I've got too many DMs. There we go. We're going to start to square up. Alan Moore is a douche. He's a commie wizard. But he's a good writer. he was a good writer. This Swamp Thing stuff is great. I love Watchmen. I hate what it started, but that's not Watchmen's fault. Even fucking Alan Moore has come out and say, no, not everything was supposed to be Watchmen. To his credit. He's also a commie. Thinks he's a wizard. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 is fun. It's the perfect melding of sci-fi and superheroes, and it's the kind of sci-fi I like. So it's got a lot of Kirby, it's got a lot of heavy metal, it's got a lot of just 70s galactic Marvel. It gets a lot of that shit right. It also heavily, James Gunn loves to take credit for this, but heavily borrows from the Guardians of the Galaxy run around Annihilation, like heavily straight up steals from that comic book run, which is unbelievably good. Don't know if I've ever seen James Gunn give him credit. Can't say I have. If you want to read the greatest crossover probably in the last 15 years, 20 years. Planet Hulk. It's a crossover, but it's basically a Hulk story. World War Hulk, really fucking good too, but Annihilation is the best. All right, Matthew Hammond. This is from last Friday. How salty were commie journalists that Jimmy Fallon and had Greg Gutfeld on his show? Well, I'll be talking about that on my next video. Like I said, it's been a while since I checked in on late night Colbert and Kimmel and Stern and all the shit that's gone down in the last couple weeks. I think I'll give you a little hint. I think it's a good sign of things. It's not everything we want. I'm going to discuss Gina a little bit in that video too, because I've seen some people say Gina has sold out. I completely disagree. But how salty are the journalists? Very salty. People are very salty over Gina. People are very salty over Colbert. But it's the people who are salty that you want to focus on. Because it's really good that they're salty. They're the kind of people who go, we just like to piss off the right people. Well, you know what? The right people got pissed off, and I'm gonna enjoy it, fuckers. And the great thing is they go out there, they embarrass themselves. And now more people are aware of, like, wait a minute, like all of social media, all of the apparatus, all of the information and entertainment apparatus was capitulating to these fucking psychos. Are you kidding me? The answer is yes, they were. And now they're realizing they don't have no money. They don't watch any of that shit. They were never fans of Doctor Who. They were never fans of Star Trek. They were never fans of Marvel Comics. They were never fans of Hollywood. You know, it's like Rachel Leichman, who's as wide as she is tall, from the Mary Sue. She might have liked comic books at one time, and then she takes a women's studies class, and her very retarded, malleable brain gets poisoned. And then she writes articles like, the gross people are going after She-Hulk, like She-Hulk's some masterpiece. Then she comes out, hey, by the way, Rachel, still waiting to see that Doctor Who collection. Any day now. And I just showed you the tip of the iceberg of mine. That sounded bad. Still waiting, Rachel. Maybe you can show me a pop vinyl of Jodie. But back to Gina real quick. And we talked about it on Friday Night Tights. Listen, I wanted Discovery. I did. I wanted it as much as anybody. Oh my God. And I mean, I just want to see Disney burn. And then, oh yeah, that would have been years of content. Sure. I wanted Discovery. Yes. That would have been orders of magnitude better than the Sony email leaks. Now, if a good citizen, now don't do this. Do not leak emails internally from Disney. I think it's against the law. I think you can. So you don't want to do that. You don't ever want to do that. But yeah, I would have loved it. I would have loved it. I would have been able to put a bathroom inside my bathroom. It'd have been great. But the chances of it happening were really slim. So if it goes to trial, I'm just being real here, so I'm not trying to push any nerves. Again, I wanted there to be Discovery. I wanted Kathleen Kennedy to record a video where she starts out going fade in. She's on her knees, and she apologizes to Gina Carano personally. Gina's there, standing above her while Kathleen Kennedy's on her knees. And then she apologizes to the fandom for fucking off Star Wars. And then she quits publicly. Oh, and apologizes to George. I think she owes George an apology too. But you apologize to Gina and the fans first. That's what I wanted. But what was going to happen was there was going to be a trial. It was going to go for a couple years minimum. Disney would delay. And the last thing that they were going to do, and I think Ron Coleman talked about this, the job of the Disney lawyers who aren't, Gina had Elon lawyers. So that's the only reason we got what we got. The only reason we got what we got was because of Elon lawyers. It would have never gotten this far. I talked about it on FNT. If fucking Robert De Niro sued Disney, he would not get a result like this. And this is, like, all due respect to Gina. I love her to death. Not an A-list actress. But she got A-list actress treatment in this. Above that. The trial was going to go for 2 years. Do we get some Discovery? Maybe some, but not all. And they also start going through her life. And she doesn't owe anybody anything, but she put up a message yesterday. It was long, but I'm going to paraphrase. Like, she's been going through this for 5 years and she wants to act. That's what she wants to do. So, I saw somebody comment, and all due respect, I'm not like being pithy about this, but, he said, I thought we wanted Discovery. And I'm all, we did. I answer now. We did, but it wasn't our lawsuit. I've gotten to know Gina, and she's super sweet. And I think she just wants to act. And I don't think she wanted to get caught up in this at first, but then she fought back. She wasn't going to, sit back and take it. And as Garrett said on Friday Night Tights, you made God bleed. And that's the best we were going to get. They didn't necessarily apologize, but that's as close as you're going to get. And no, companies don't do shit like this, like ever. Like ever. Ever. Did I want more? Yes. Did Gina win? Yes. 100%. Look at the reactions of the other side. Look at how much they're fucking melting down and they're going to boycott Star Wars now. And it's like, okay. I don't think Gina, Gina's going to do whatever the hell she wants to do, and I support her. I would say Disney Star Wars is such a tainted fucking brand. I don't think anybody should go there, much less her. But I think she feels really loyal to Cara Dune fans, for which there are a lot of. So whatever she does, I support. And it's, I've gotten to know her, and she's really cool beans. Really cool beans. And Disney bled. Disney's had a bad week. Their stockholder meeting was having to admit that Thunderbolts flopped, Elio flopped, and oh, by the way, those flops took away any profits we got from the $1 billion movie this year, Lilo and Stitch. Didn't bring up Snow White, which flopped, and they're absorbing Disney Plus into Hulu, but then naming Hulu Disney Plus, and that's exactly what's happening. So to the minor retards on Twitter who responded, I'm like, when Variety announced it, I put this is about Disney Plus failing. That's exactly what happened. They are absorbing Disney Plus into Hulu and then renaming Hulu Disney Plus. So Disney Plus failed. That's what it did. And it cost a much better streaming service, Hulu. And what's Disney Plus going to do to Hulu? It's going to make it crap. That Hulu brand still means something, right? So now you're going to go watch Buffy on Disney Plus. Ugh. Firefly on Disney Plus. X-Files on Disney Plus. The stuff that Bob Iger's been bragging about, The Bear and Shogun, that's Fox stuff. The $1 billion movie last year that Kevin Feige was bragging about, Fox stuff. And ESPN's doing so great, they just handed 10% of it to the NFL. Now, you go, what's the big deal? ESPN used to be a massive network. A network. Could you imagine 20 years ago somebody offering up 10% of ABC to somebody? It's insane. That shows you how worthless it is. And the NFL network is dying. And it's because cable is being cut. Broadcast is dying too. But yeah, they've had a rough week. Oh, and Fantastic Four flopped. I forgot to mention that. It flopped. I was down another 60%. And it's tracking way down and is not going to make its money back, which would make it a flop. Ladybug 22 has sent gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships, and so has Hamren Gaming. Appreciate it. TJ Jordan for $5. Hearing that Disney may own WWE is now making me imagine Goofy and Donald going into the ring while Mickey is Vince McMahon. That's funny that the league made so powerful by the guy who just got thrown out for getting a Cleveland steamer is now under Disney's banner. I don't watch wrestling anymore. I did all through the 80s and the 90s when it was good. I don't watch it anymore. So you're not going to be able to watch it on Netflix now, and now you got to watch your wrestling on Disney Plus. I guess the good thing is the UFC it's going to go on Paramount Plus, and there won't be any pay-per-views. Like, you just subscribe to Paramount Plus, and you'll be able to see all the fights. That's a good move. That's a good move. Wrestling, I don't know. I don't care. All the great ones are dead. R.I.P. Hulk. R.I.P. Roddy. Undertaker's still around. Fucking love the Undertaker. Absolutely love the Undertaker. But R.I.P. Roddy, Piper, Macho Man. Caloth for $5 says Star Trek Academy teaching the woke how to fix starship engines. We need lots of practice for those exams. Anyone know a supplier? TJ Krennic for $5 says, when people wanted to remove the stigma from mental illness, we were talking about self-deletion, not the nuts confused about how many genders there are. Yes. When you want to remove the stigma of mental illness, it is to prevent suicide. Okay. Suicide. It's not removing the stigma of I've got anxiety. Now, these are real things. Anxiety, depression, they are real things that can be fixed with treatment. Tom Cruise got a lot of shit, but I agree with him. You can't fix it with meds, not completely. There are some serious cases, and you talk to a doctor and all that meds are required. But in most cases, I believe, this is just my belief as a big old dummy, big old retard, that with treatment and work, you can get through things. I have. And I've suffered from all those. I've suffered from anxiety, depression, crippling anxiety, and depression. And I don't feel those things anymore. Notrum for 600 Martian pesos says woke always existed in some shape or form. Yes, it did. And that's all I'll talk about in my video. In the 90s, it was family values. In 2000s, it was pro-Iraq war propaganda. And after Occupy Wall Street, it was identity politics. Yes, Jimmy Dore briefly discussed this in a video with Kerp a couple days ago, and he's not wrong. Tim Pool has talked about this. I talked about this. Tim Pool was part of that Occupy Wall Street thing. So woke, Marxist policies, socialist policies, identity politics, all that shit goes way back. Way back. Way back. But in its current form, it was we've been dealing with this particular era for 10 years now. And we can look directly at Occupy Wall Street, which was a direct result of 2008 and a direct result of Obama being voted into office to handle those bakers who fucked everybody over, and he was a fraud. And Obama put all of this stuff in the high gear. So the first black president divided the country more. The first black president made the country worse when it comes to race relations. That's a fact. He gaslit Ferguson, if you all recall. Fucking gaslit the shit out of that. And brought in Black Lives Matter and all that nonsense. And it's all commie shit. And they all, guess what? It's all commie shit. It all got occupied by commies. But what was behind this, as what's behind all communists, are rich people, are fucking rich, manipulative people who want to control you, who funded the communists and the Bolsheviks and all that fucking monarchs, rich people. They are funded because they're tools. They are tools of oppression and control, willing tools. So Occupy Wall Street, while probably it started grassroots, like, fuck these fucking bankers, these motherfuckers should all be in jail, which I agree with 100%. None of them got in trouble. But guess what? Millions of Americans were thrown out of their homes. But I think another thing is true. Predatory lending. You don't have to borrow the money. Nobody was forcing you to borrow the money. If you were someone like me in the 90s, who was a parts guy making a very modest 5-figure salary, and somebody wants to loan me $1 million, I'm going, I can't fucking pay this back with no interest. Like, ever. It would be irresponsible for me to take this, because if I took this money, I'd have this neat little thing for a little while, but then they'd take it back and all other money I would make after that. So if a retard like me can figure that out. Doesn't absolve the corporations from being evil fucking bastards, though. And the bankers should be in jail. And they broke a lot of laws. So Occupy Wall Street happens, and it gets infiltrated. It gets infiltrated by socialists and a bunch of other things. And who coordinated that? The Uniparty. Bankers, the people they were fucking protesting, they got infiltrated by people that were paid for by the guys they were protesting. That's how it works. That's why this culture war gonna be a long one. It's gonna last way past your lifetime. But that's how it works. And that's what happened. And Occupy Wall Street turned into a lot of shitty things that we're still dealing with. I mean, then Obama, and then movies, and like a lot of people from the Obama administration, a lot of people from the Clinton administration, a lot of people from the Bush administration started working in news and Hollywood. And, you see a press secretary, all of a sudden he's working for ABC, and you're like, oh, it's just normal, right? No. And then these networks, for some reason, try to tell you, oh, yeah, we're objective. It's like, you're high. And then we get controlled opposition. And by the way, all the networks were the same. Then we get controlled opposition to Fox, who are the Washington Generals. And then we go, see, we got Fox. Now we're going to blame everything on Fox, even though MSNBC and NBC and CBS and fucking ABC, and they all sound, I don't know the difference between those three. They all report the same shit the same fucking way. Oh, 60 Minutes is a serious program. It's just a longer version of CBS News. So yeah, it's been around a long time, but the era that's ending now was exacerbated and made worse by Barack Hussein Obama. Scandal-free president, everybody. Scandal-free president. Never mind that he ran 2 separate coups. Never mind that behind the scenes, he has anointed the Democratic candidate for president without running any primaries. Nothing to see here. Ryan Sensorius Monkeypox for $5 says, how many cops does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. They arrest the bulb for being broke and beat the room for being black. 10 raised tube for $4.99. Patrick Buchanan wrote a book called How the Right Went Wrong, and it explains why Republicans don't champion freedom. They don't. We're talking about like uniparty Republicans, old traditional boring ass fuddy-duddy Republicans who are just as bad as Democrats. No, they don't fight for freedom. They also don't fight for culture. And that's why they got their ass kicked. That's why culturally they got their ass handed to them. And it was until a certain president who wasn't really a Republican before, and a guy named Elon who understands culture, and some other people in the independent sphere started understanding that culture matters. That's when the tide started turning. When you started going, oh, fucking playing video games and collecting toys makes you fucking gay. Well, and maybe, but it's also a huge contingent of people. And the first Donald Trump, that was the meme presidency. Who controls the memes? Who controls the memes? That is the spice. Gamers, people on the internet, nerds. That's who controls the memes. Trusting anyone from Hollywood to represent masculinity, American values, and the nuclear family is like trusting a porn star to be a faithful woman, says TJ Jordan for $5. Yes. The best was when Eddie Murphy discussed himself as white on SNL. That was really good, Lexicon. That was a good skit. TJ Jordan for $5. U.S. aid has pretty much proven a theory I had for the last few years on how these companies could lose so much money pushing DEI woke. I'm ruining my next video. And not suffer for it. All it took was being reminded on how Eric Bischoff wasted Turner's money during his time at WCW and it clicked. No, I think it's unquestionable now. I'm ruining my next video. I think it's absolutely unquestionable. So let's just say the question we in this sphere have been asked the most is, how in the hell are these people still making these things? Do they hate money? Because they're not making any money. No woke project has really been a success ever. Aside from Avatar, because Avatar is fucking woke. I think we know. Or you know what? Just guys, it was a big old coincidence. Now, yes, the tide has turned. The culture has shifted. The companies can't play these fucking games anymore. They've understood that tastes have changed. They changed overnight. They changed on November of 2024. That is unquestionable. It's going to be framed a certain way, but the fact of the matter is the culture was changing already. It was changing already, and it was being forced back by these institutions, the institutions of information, entertainment, socials. They were forcing the culture back. This culture was changing anyway, and the dam broke in November. So it was something that was going to happen. Did it get help? Elon helped. MAGA helped. It doesn't happen without MAGA and Elon. It doesn't, whether you like them or not. And I know a lot of people who can't stand Trump who can't stand woke. I know a ton. Some people subscribe here. You're welcome here, by the way. You don't have to like Trump. I don't care. So that's undeniable. It's undeniable. What's also undeniable is when the USAID money was identified and cut off, a bunch of shit changed. All of a sudden, people started getting fired. And you're like, and then you find out, wait a minute. They were losing $40 million a year on Stephen Colbert. How in the fuck could you? Wait a minute. Paramount was operating with a $15 billion debt for half a decade. Wait, Warner Brothers currently is working under a $12 billion debt? Like, how? That means you're not making any money as a company. Oh, that debt's separate. We still have income. No, it's not. I mean, we can argue semantics all you want, but you owe people $15 billion and you haven't paid it back and you can't pay it back. That means you're not profitable. If I was a sole proprietor and I owned somebody $15 million, we won't say billion, but $1 million, and there was no prayer I was ever going to be able to pay it back, but I'm making minimum payments for a little while, but I'm under the fucking gun of that 15 million for the entirety of my business until I close it. That means I'm not making any money. I'm not successful. That's a lot of corporations, by the way. So to make a fucking long story longer, but end it short. Yes, USAID money was going to pump up a lot of our tax money, by the way, was going to pump up things like Colbert, Kimmel, Fallon, whatever the fuck, a movie, probably some fucking movie that you hate. Some USAID's money probably went in and helped it. Some Obama production on Netflix. Tax money went there. That should infuriate you. That should make you so fucking angry. I know we don't have exact proof, but man, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence now that some, and I mean, even if $1 fucking dollar of somebody's tax money goes to a movie on Netflix, that should be infuriating. No, it is infuriating. Not should. It is. Kreger wrote a Batman movie. Look at discussing film. Mad Dog. Thank you, Mad Dog. I find it ironic that fake wieners brought more attention to the WNBA than the actual game. Yes. The game's a joke. It's DEI, the league. It's never made any money and it never will. Jason, not unless the women get hot and they start wearing bikinis. Then you might make some money. Jason Webster for $5 says they threw dildos on the court because they were fresh out of octopus. They're not throwing dildos. They're dropping them. The players are dropping them, people. Come on. Thunderstorm for $9.99. Ricky Berwick recently released his jeans ad. Not a single comment from the woke. Fucking Ricky Berwick is great. God bless you, Ricky. I want Zach Kreger to do a Resurrection Man show for DC. I think Zach Kreger should just do original stuff. Do original stuff, man. Don't get caught up in that DC Marvel cesspool right now. To crush your enemy. What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women. Jor-El. I have never left the theater disappointed after seeing Superman. I did. But I'm glad you didn't. If you like it, great. Don't let me be a buzzkill for you. Zekra Mouse for $2.99. iDubbbz has literally become a bread tuber now. Yeah. Well, I mean, iDubbbz pulled a Howard Stern. A lot of them did. They were these edge lords. But the problem is, they wanted to keep making money and they were basically bribed. And I guess iDubbbz had never had sex with a woman before and his first girlfriend. And it's not unusual for dudes to change after that, but this one's bad. Whatever. He sold out and it's just to cover up from all his bad stuff before. I mean, it's going to continue to dwindle. I would argue, and this is for me. Somebody put this on Twitter, so let's address it. It was somebody who's nice. They're asking. I mean, I know it's a bait question, but I'll fucking answer it. But for instance, you know, if you're Howard Stern, you have $880 million. I don't give a fuck if somebody's going to try to cancel me for blackface. I don't give a shit. It was a comedy routine. I don't give a flying fuck. I have $800 million. I'm going to go and $1 million of it is filling my mattress. I'm going to go lie down and not give a fuck. Cancel me. Come at it. You got fuck you money. Like J.K. Rowling has bigger fucking balls. J.K. Rowling is taking on Hollywood's single most important issue, the one that they virtue signal the most for, Hollywood entertainment. She should be done by all accounts. Doesn't matter. She created hair parties. So many people are afraid to call this shit out in Hollywood. And she is just like, fuck you. And yes, she's got fuck you money, but has it affected her business at all? No. I would make a pretty solid argument that it's helped her. I think JK is making more money than she ever has, that she does not need, because she took that stance. Why? It's not like JK isn't some fucking socialist, because she is. Typical champagne socialist on pretty much everything. One issue. And it's selling her more books. It's not like it's not crowded at Universal in the wizarding world. It's not like they haven't reprinted, repackaged her books 1,000 different ways and they all fucking sell. Hell, they at Comic-Con, they had a little carrying case, a little rucksack carrying case of all the mini versions of the books. I fucking bought it. I can't even read them. I can't read the ones that are big with the big print, but I bought them because I like Harry Potter. I pre-ordered the fucking audiobook. People see her stance on this is very based, and it's also very realistic, and it should be normal. Her stance on women are women. They, by the way, I totally hate women. I don't think dudes should be in their space. I don't think a little girl should be in a bathroom with some fucking grown ass man. I think there's a high chance that that grown ass man will sexually assault her, and that's what he's using it for. Oh, because they have. And I think if there's even a slight chance of that happening, you keep them separate because men and women are different. So I think Howard Stern was a pussy. And I think Howard Stern wanted to be part of the club. And that's all he ever wanted to be. So he was a fraud all along. He was just jealous that he wasn't part of the club. You see that around here with content creators. Like they'll go out there and call out, for example, Marvel Comics. They'll call them out a bunch. And turns out they just wanted to be part of the club. That's the sad reality of it. So somebody asked me, because if I'm on Piers, am I selling out? Well, I don't get paid to be on Piers. I don't. I go on Piers because I like Piers. I like that it's Jerry Springer without people being in the room. I love Jerry Springer, by the way. And when Piers asked me, the first time they asked me on, and the previous time that I couldn't make, what Paul, our buddy Paul, says is bring it. Don't hold back. Bring it. Don't hold back. That's the only thing they asked me to do. Bring it. Don't hold back. And maybe it's because we went to this Angel Studios thing. It was Angel Studios, bro. They're based in Utah. They are run by Mormons. And they actually did this premiere in LA to kind of troll. And I appreciated that. And that's why I went. The movie's charming. It's fun. Go see Sketch if you want. You got a chance to go see Sketch. But yeah, it was Angel Studios, bro. It's not fucking Paramount or Disney, and I wouldn't go. Because I don't want to be part of that club ever. I'm not looking to interview celebrities. I'm not looking to be invited to parties. I could apply to go see movies early and stuff. I don't, because I don't need to. I don't care. I'll wait. I get a better feeling for a movie anyway, seeing it with like a real crowd of real people anyway. Yeah. And plus I like going to these movies with my family, which I wouldn't be able to do if I was like going to these stupid things. So, and I don't want to be a part of the club. I worked in Hollywood. Some people might know I worked in Hollywood for a couple of years. I fucking hated every minute of it. I don't ever want to go back. I hate the culture. I really love the art form. I love film. I love TV. I love a good story. I saw how the sausage was made and I like the craft of it, but the actual people, the vast majority of them are backstabbing, phony pieces of shit. And that's the culture there, because that's the culture. You have to become that to succeed. Like, to be a really good creative, you have to be uber talented or really good at the art of bullshit and backstabbing. It's funny. The reason this hit my head is my son was asking today when we're coming back from the gym. He's all, when you got out of prison, Dad, like, how'd you hold back on stuff? Like, how'd you keep from punching somebody in the mouth? He's all, because some days I want to punch somebody in the mouth. And I'm like, well, son, I didn't want to go back to jail, but it's very hard. It was very, very, very hard. And I had a lot of issues that first decade I was out. But in Hollywood, it was the hardest because people treat people like fucking shit there. And there's this fucking fat fuck named Chester who worked in my office who just talked a lot of shit, and he has no idea how close he got to being thrown out a fucking window. He looked like fucking Wong. Yeah, he was a Chinese guy. He looked like Wong, and he talked a lot of shit, and I had to sit there and fucking take it, man. And he has no idea how many times he got thrown out the fucking third floor window. I had to run out and say a serenity prayer and just, and that was, it was a long time ago, but I told my son, I just gripped and fucking didn't do it because I didn't want to go back to jail. But God, did I want to punch so many people there. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked. The craft, the work was fun. The editing part and making menus, even the compression. I did archiving and compression and helping with graphics on menus and did some editing. That part was fun. It was just dealing with the people down there sucked. Totally fucking sucked. Totally sucked. So no, I don't want to be part of the fucking club. I don't care about that fucking club. I love being a YouTuber. I love this job, what I'm doing right now. Fucking love it. Best gig in the world. And I've been blessed thanks to you guys. Thanks to you guys. So thank you. Cameron Perry for $9.99 at the hospital with my 3-month-old. Oh no, who was having seizures. So was hoping to ask for your thoughts and prayers. You got him belated. Thanks for the good times and hail. Cameron, let me email me and tell me how things turned out, please. Hope everything's fine. Shit, scary. Everyone watch Apollo 13 this weekend in honor of Jim Lovell. RIP, yeah, Jim Lovell died. Yep. Was good, but it's no True Detective or It Follows. True Detective's good first season. RIP Jim Lovell, commander of Apollo 13. He successfully navigated one of the most intense situations that has taken place away from our planet. And kudos to the men at NASA that brought them home. Yep. Apollo 13 is a great movie, by the way. Great Ron Howard movie. Had comedy movie idea called Mystery Box that ribs all the tropes of the genre, like child's crayon drawing, a shadow creature, a couple of brink on divorce, mysteries never answered, etc. Thoughts? Do it. Which was the worst fall of quality? Incredibles to Incredibles 2 or Joker to Joker 2? Yes. Yes. The answer to that is yes. The answer to that is just, we're going to do a One Piece trailer reaction tomorrow in Real BBC. I saw you ask for that, chat. I thought the trailer looks good. People are complaining about a race swap. I'll just inform you that there was multiple race swaps in season 1, and there's even a chick playing a dude. But strangely, it works in an anime setting. I thought One Piece season 1 was a masterpiece. That was fucking great. I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's fucking retarded to take 3 years between seasons. I think that is absolutely unsustainable. So I think that's exactly why they said, hey, we renewed it already, because they dragged their feet renewing it. And I think it's kind of screwed. This is why there's a Netflix season 2 curse. People are saying Wednesday's a big downgrade from the first one. And that's pretty normal. Stranger Things, which has lasted, its season 2 was a massive downgrade from season 1. Alter Carbon had a terrible season 2, even though it was an anthology piece, it was still terrible. Umbrella Academy had a great first season and went to shit after that. Witcher had a watchable first season and went to shit after that. I can go on and on and on how Netflix, outside of some rare exceptions, cannot sustain a series. Cobra Kai, didn't start on Netflix. Streaming has this problem overall, and Netflix is worse. And what makes it worse is the binge model. The binge model. Why? Because it makes that time between shows even longer. If you released One Piece weekly, you can binge it when it's over, by the way. And that has people talking about it. It's in the zeitgeist for minimum 2 months. It also fights churn. And that's why Netflix has capitulated and started breaking their stuff into parts. And they don't want to capitulate, but they're eventually going to have to go weekly. They are. But they're the big dogs now, so they don't have to worry about it. But it's unsustainable. You can't keep dropping $100 to $200 million on projects. that come out, don't really generate you a ton of subscribers, which doesn't generate you a ton of money, and gets talked about a lot over a weekend. And then 3 years later, season 2 comes out. Business wise, it's fucking retarded, but they've been able to get away with it because they were the first, and they have put out some, their back catalog has been improved greatly by bringing in anime and a lot of stuff from not America. And I think that's helped them. That's why they're the big dogs and then get away with this shit. But everybody else does weekly, and weekly works. Mobland wouldn't have been the hit it was if it wasn't released weekly. Game of Thrones wouldn't be the hit it was if it wasn't released weekly. And every streaming service still wants a water cooler show. They still want it. And now you're starting to see weekly shows released. Remember, it wasn't long ago, they were releasing shit in the middle of the night. They're still doing it with some stuff. But now they're starting to release it here in America, the country that counts. 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern, where everybody can watch it all at once. Alien Earth premieres tomorrow at 8 Central. And that's how you're going to do it. The trailer looked good. I have no idea. It's coming out next year sometime, probably early. I would guess early. Oh, and they've lost both showrunners. Now, I don't know if the other one's going to come back. He did see it through for season 2, but the other showrunner from season 1 left before season 2. And that's what happens when it takes 3 years. But the trailer looked good. It did. It looked good. Please do the dinosaur thing again. It's so funny. We did it a little bit, but that clip was, it's got to be, authentic. We can't try to do it. We just do it. Dinosaur. James Gunn should go away from DC and direct a live action version of WV video game Gunn actually wrote back in 2012 and have Sydney Sweeney star. Sure. Sydney Sweeney is going to make so much money for ad campaigns. She is going to be the most sought after pitch person alive. And you know what? I can't remember the last time we had an America's Sweetheart. She's America's Sweetheart. When was the last time we had one of those? Can't even remember. I think that's good. I think that's a sign of things getting back to normal. The embryo from 1994 will be eligible for Social Security at age 37. Hey, good for the embryo. The child is the first human being ever to be born at the age of 21. Hail the fellowship. That's right. The embryo from 1994. But that's no. If it was just born and it was born in 1994, that's 30. My math is bad, but 94, 2004, 2014, 2024. So 31. 31. The simping for this movie continues to amaze me. It was mid as fuck. Yes, Griff Nizzle for Superman. It is mind-boggling. But I think what's behind that was a lot of frustration and resentment towards the Snyder Bros, and people rooting against Disney, so they want to root for something that's against Disney. And I'd love to see Warner Brothers turn around, but I got 2 words for you. Black Snape. Richard Throbbin for $5. You think people will start throwing green dildos at Pedro Pascal movies? I think that would be a good idea. Anyway, stay horny, everyone. Ryan's Asian with the way he speaks about the blacks, says Jamie Higgins. None of those women on the court have ever gone to a hockey game in Detroit or Nashville. Octopi and catfish away. Yeah, that's true. There's all kinds of shit being thrown out. And they've thrown dildos at football games. Ryan pointed that out. For Knots to Nowhere for $9.99 says, just wanted to come to Pedro's next movie is Bohemoth and not Bohica. Thanks. Oh, I'll miss it. Gary, tell me more about this home theater. Oh, the one Ryan's like, not everybody's got a 125-inch, screen. Well, it's a projection screen. I have a projector. So this home theater, I'll be happy to tell you about it. When we moved from California to Texas as a birthday present, my wife had a home theater installed, considering my job is watching television shows and movies. It was a birthday present. We were also able to 100% write it off on our taxes because it's part of my job. And that's the great thing about this gig. I can go out and buy a comic book and write it off because it's research, because it is. Because it is. I did that at the comic store too. I did a lot of trend scouting. Trend scouting was buying other comic books, going to stuff. Yeah. Perfectly legal. Taxation is theft. But yeah, it is a 125-inch projection screen. I have a projector, Dolby Atmos surround system that is built into the walls, and it's fucking wonderful. Very proud of it. Smuggling things into the WNBA matches, security is more like to check up your bottom than the sleeve of your jacket. I speak through experience. Oh boy, I don't want that job. Season tickets to the fan that can get the dildo to stick to the center square of the backboard. Will Favreau come back to Mando if Carano is back? I think Favreau would probably want to shoot a cameo scene for the next movie with Gina. That would be my thought. I don't know if she'll do it. Make it a thing. Happy slappy bobblehead neon night. There you go. Purple dildo is called the Magic Johnson, says Dearest for $2. Could you make a side-by-side video of Lizzo's response to Sydney Sweeney advert for the benefit of posterity? We could put that in our video, Garrett, since we have time now. I have a couple things I need to add. Is Chad the voice for the dad in Bluey? Sounds like him. I'm not sure. I don't watch Bluey. Who dis plus, as Valiant Renegade says. Yes, who dis. Hulu is now who dis. Now it's now D plus, which is very sad. Norn Rad should have made would have made it successful. Even the real Nova would have been better. The real Frankie Ray. You'd have to rework the origin. Well, if Norton Rad was in it, you'd have to make Johnny Storm not gay. But if you wanted to go Nova, that would have been fine. That would have been fine. But no, they had to take something away. They had to make something male, female, and that is a deliberate identity politics decision. And it hurt your movie. It's the reason it flopped. Pedro, female Silver Surfer, is why your movie flopped. Oh, and brand damage, and there's some other little paper cuts in there, but those are the two biggest reasons your movie flopped. There were two biggest flaws in the movie, and those two biggest flaws affect word of mouth. And I say it ruins the movie in my review, as I suspected it would. Mike Roshburns for 10 British pounds. Grayson's parry performance in Weapons was mechanically, is it
menacingly?
Why am I not seeing that word? It was menacingly powerful and fully deserving of Oscar recognition. Google hum if you don't know. Grayson Perry's performance in Weapons. Grayson Perry. Was that the, hang on. That's funny. It's a dude. I'm 26 in digital age. I think a factor in the box office my generation is pirating sites. I haven't cared for Marvel enough to pay, so I pirate the movies. This is Mad Dog. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, well, pirating costs movie tickets. But if you listen to what Mad Dog says is, oh, I wouldn't have gone. there's no way I would have gone. So you're talking about somebody who probably wouldn't have gotten that ticket anyway. I had this argument a lot with retailers, Brian Hibbs, about pirating. So when they started putting digital codes in comic books, a lot of retailers, Brian Hibbs, started complaining that leads to pirating. That leads to pirating. And my response was this. People are going to pirate your comics in other countries that can't get access to them. People are going to pirate your comics who cannot afford them at the time. And sure, there's some people out there who could afford them and will just pirate them. So maybe that there's a lost sale there, but you're looking at everything as a lost sale and you're looking at it wrong, because somebody who was never going to buy it was not a lost sale. Somebody who's in another country who doesn't have access is not a lost sale. You know what that is? Tell me what that is. I know you know. A potential customer. That's a potential customer. That's exactly what that is. And now you're giving basically your potential customer some previews, some freebies. And they're going to start reading the stories. And if they're good, they're going to get into them. And eventually a portion of that base that's in another country, they'll eventually get access, or the people who can't afford it because of their income or whatever. When they can't afford it, they're going to start buying shit. 100% of them? No. But anything is good. And it's because they had access to the comic book. Now, you don't want to pirate everything. It bellies up an industry. But now that we're decades into music and everything getting pirated, it's not the factor. The factor with Hollywood is not piracy. It is they make shit. The factor with pop music is shit. It's not piracy. People still fucking pay for Spotify. It's just as easy to fucking rip off music now than it was 20 years ago. It's easier. But it's also easier to pay a few bucks and just have access to everything. I mean, does it screw the artist? Yeah, kind of. Don't put yourself on Spotify then. I mean, I don't have an answer for that. But my answer for piracy is it's a give and take. You're going to lose some sales, but I think it creates a potential. It creates a potential for customers. So I don't care. These are also the same people who didn't want comic books going into becoming cheaper and going into 7-Elevens and gas stations, because that would be competition. It was a very union-esque look at the comic book industry, and that protected it for a while, but now it's suffering the consequences, and it never grew. It just shrunk. Richie Somerville for $7. Speaking of streaming, 4K, etc., my 14-year-old daughter, my 14-year-old HD TV started sparking like a Roman candle, and I need a new one. Any advice, brands to get or avoid? Oh, I'm a projection snob. I'm a projection snob. So, yeah, I would get a projector. I'd get a projector. You don't have to pay, like, there's projectors out there that are literally $50,000. That's ridiculous. You can get one for $1,000, a couple thousand that are decent. Yes, they die out, but so do TVs. Jeremy David for $2. ARPU is what Disney calls their content. I call it poo. Alien Earth has good reviews. I'm going in open-minded. FX isn't bad. First season of Old Men, and Fargo was good. I am also excited for Peacemaker. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know why you're excited for people. I don't know why people like Peacemaker. Peacemaker's woke. First Peacemaker, woke as fuck. But Noah Hawley's pretty good. He's pretty good. First couple seasons of Legion. Season 3 sucked. Post-Trump era. But Fargo is good. So Alien Earth, I'll give it a try. It does look like a bunch of anorexic what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God. Androgynous Gen Zers are fighting an alien, but it'd be different. some like jacked up dude fighting an alien. We've never had that. I thought Walmart went woke, but I was getting some grub last night and heard Witch Doctor on the radio. Haven't heard that in like 20 years. Hell yeah. October baby fee for $23.99. Making woke marketing nowadays is like beating off a dead horse. It's for weirdos who they would use who would think they would do something who they don't understand and who doesn't care anymore and anymore a favor. And it was disgusting all along. It was. That's the thing, is like they were forcing us. Nobody was inspired to buy a single fucking thing from a giant fat black woman crushed into a pair of jeans. That didn't sell a single fucking pair of jeans. Make Gina Wonder Woman now. Oh, James Gunn ain't hiring Gina Carano. I've seen a lot of people talk about that. To all the James Gunn fans out there, remember he piled on Gina Carano when she was canceled. James Gunn piled on Gina Carano when she got canceled. Gun bros. Josh Kelsey drops $20 and walks away. Paul Kurtz for $5. If FF, did anyone else notice that Franklin had blonde hair and blue eyes and didn't have any of Pedro's features? Are Johnny and Sue Targaryen? That's a good point. That is a good point. I missed that. I'm sure Disney saw it as the dominant features are the woman's. And in this case, I might have to side with them because the father's Pedro. American Smarties and British Smarties are very different. For the lurker tax, Meek. Thank you, Jesus Davila. Thank you, Jesus Davila. How are we doing on time? Okay. Why not just ask Jay about Gina? Aren't they friends? I that's not how. Yes, they're friends. But it's none of my fucking business. So I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to go, Jay, man, give me all the dirt. I want you to call Gina and give me all the dirt. Like, if I see Gina again, maybe she tells me, probably doesn't. I'm not going to ask because it's none of my business. I'd love the dirt, but I want the dirt to come out publicly. That's when I'll discuss it. That's what I was. Yeah, but yes, Gina, Jay does know Gina. But I'm not going to call Jay for the first time in 2 months and go, yo, drop the Gina dirt. And Jay's like, hello, how have you been? Maybe you start with that. Yeah, it's none of my business. So the big question, Jack Black or Pedro Pascal? Oh, God, I'm going to probably, God, I hate to say this, Jack Black. Did you see his Mr. Crowley cover during the Aussie benefit? Oh, it was good. It was so good. Aryan for 100 Martian pesos. The more internet censorship gets worse, the more I feel good about having physical media. Yes, never fear of subscriptions or losing the shows you like or them being edited. Yes. No, and now it's like, I'll buy something on DVD. Yeah, it's 480p, but at least I'll have it, right? My physical media has got it was wiped out. I used to have a pretty sizable physical media collection, but then I didn't have a ton of space and it was taking up so much space. We had bills to pay, so I think I took it to Amoeba and I think I sold it all. So I've rebuilt it from nothing, basically in the last 5 years, a little bit here and there. I wait for specials. I wait for Prime Day. I'll go buy something used. I'll go find something cheap on eBay. I will pre-order shit all day long. That's cool. But like that Bond 4K Steelbook Ooh, Sean Connery, so good. But yeah, it's pretty big now. It takes up half of my media room. Half of my media room. Thoughts on the new King of the Hill? I liked it. I did too. More examples of formerly great IPs that are mutilated by their owners: The Simpsons, Street Fighter, Final Fantasy, Tekken, Warhammer 40K. These brands are dead and buried. Corporatism sucks balls. You're right. Corporatism does suck because the old form where a studio was in charge of something and it would be some guy chomping on a cigar making all the decisions. And we still got a lot of shit, but we got more innovative stuff, and it had to make money differently. Now we get 5 seasons of Star Trek. Colbert stays on way too long because all the money goes in. It's not looked at in, back in the old studio days, it was how an individual movie performed or an individual TV show performed. Now it's like, how is the pot performing? And what they don't realize is that it just chips away at viewer trust. It's a very important thing. Customer trust. A lot of people don't understand this, who are in the arts. Not you. No. If you've worked retail of any kind, I think Jeremy might have mentioned once or twice is that the only thing he's ever done is retail? Just curious. Retail. If you've run a business, if you've run an auto shop, you know the importance of customer trust. It's very important for content creators too. There has to be trust. It doesn't mean I agree with everything you say or agree with everything you do or want to buy every product in this store. Just I trust this business. I trust this businessman. I trust this model, right? People don't trust the model anymore. And it's because they're not delivering. That's it. And it could be it's not about it, it's more of a commodity, and it's still, look at that. It could be the highest form of art in the world. Listen, it's incredible that people still trust George R. R. Martin. That is blind hope. But I mean, George has cost himself millions of dollars by just people who will not pick up his next book. I mean, I probably will, but there's a lot of people who won't. If George had released a book in 2015 or 16, it would have sold more than if it gets released next year or in the next 5 years. It would have sold more. That's a fact. Trust. Trust is important. Customer trust, authenticity, important things. Corporatism is not a good place for that. The problem is, like, when you go into the indie sphere, it's really going to be up to you, and you got to pick and choose because there are people with, despite the best intentions, are not going to be able to deliver because they don't understand the business side of things. They just want to make the thing, and they don't understand about making the thing and producing the thing and distributing the thing. These are all very different things. Selling the thing. Gary, do you think Punisher will have the War Machine armor in Spider-Man and Brand New Day? God, I hope not. Also, who's the villain? Because it ain't Mr. Negative, supposedly. Jackal would be my guess. It would make the most sense if you're gonna like kind of do a riff on the Punisher or Punisher's first appearance in Spider-Man. And other people have been talking about it, and I think that would be great, by the way. Utterly great. You could even make a clone if you want. We'll see. But yeah. I think it's the Jackal. Denmark wants your dog. They can't have my dog. My dog is a member of my family, and I have kids, right? So I think it is, I'm a dog parent. No, I'm a dog owner. Okay. and the dogs are not on the same level of my kids, but they are part of the family. And what we talked about with Superman, if somebody kicked my dog, I would beat the fucking shit out of them. I wouldn't give them a talking to. I would treat them the same way if they smack my kid. I love my dogs. I don't trust people who don't like dogs. Serrano Das for 100 Martian pesos. What I feel is like after 2016, I have never been excited for anything. Game of Thrones failed. I wanted something to be excited for. And it's really been that long now. You're not wrong, Serrano, at all. In going through my video, which could get just huge. I'm good. It's part of a series anyway, so we'll do more on it later. But yeah, it's been 10 years. We've been in this woke era of shit sucking for 10 years. Go remember Terminator Dark Fate. I know this, if Mahler's listening, which he's probably not, this will perk up his ears. Terminator Dark Fate remains to this day. I know there's The Last Jedi, there's Picard season 1 and 2, there is Captain Marvel, there is the Marvels, there is Acolyte, there is Ahsoka, there is Rise of Skywalker. I think I mentioned The Last Jedi, but I'm going to mention it again. There are fixed points in this woke era that we can just go, yeah, there's Doctor Who, for that we can go, that's where the thing just was the worst. Ghostbusters 2016. I mean, these are all fixed points in wokedom, we'll call them. But I still say the single worst example, if we want to pick one movie that really describes this era, and it's anti-storytelling, it's anti-entertainment, is Terminator Dark Fate. Because remember when they were saying we all hate women? Ladies, how are you? We love you. And we'd always point out, well, there's Ripley. There's Sarah Connor. These are badass women. These are genuine badass women who they weren't like, when they were fighting, it was real. It was authentic. There was verisimilitude, and we bought into it, and they were tougher than anybody on screen, and we loved it. They took Sarah Connor and made her anti-natalist. The woman who was willing to went scorched earth for her son. To the point where he hated her. Became anti-natalist. They took her son that she went scorched earth for, and this was written by James Cameron, and killed him in the first 5 minutes of John Connor, the impetus of all the fucking Terminator movies, killed in the first 5 minutes, so we can replace him with a Latina immigrant and make an immigration allegory, a trans allegory, and a rape apologist allegory in a Terminator movie. To the point where Arnold Schwarzenegger's T-800, who's the rape apologist, by the way, this was actually described perfectly like the Mary Sue. Like the Mary Sue, actually something fell into line accidentally for them. He was a draper. Super subtle, but that was his profession. He was a draper, and he acted as the rape apologist in the message of this story. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not. Terminator Dark Fate. Single best and worst example of franchise vandalization, anti-storytelling, anti-entertainment, woke, DEI, intersectional slop. You're a barmy for $2. Holy shit. Benny 2, why sue Disney? Who? What? Benny who? Benny 2Y sued Disney? Gina sued Disney. Would you have a what the fuck? Phil that remains. Phil that remains. Well, then just put Phil Labonte as Twitter handles on. Yes, I would. You know what? I meant to ask him. I'll ask him. Yeah, let's get X-Ray Girl. Let's see if he'll come on. Phil's awesome, man. He's best thing on Tim Pool Show. I feel like he'd be a good guest, and I think he might actually hate commies more than Gary. I don't know. I would like to have a commie hate-off with Phil. Because I think you guys would win. We'd all win. But the one thing I love about Phil is he hates commies. So is that weird? I don't know. Pretty good musician, pretty good band. Our Rob or Ross for 10 British pounds. Fuck money. Disney has infinite money, but the public apologized sort of. That had to sting. I hope Gina made bank. Hail Gina. I'm guessing Gina made bank. Absolute bank. And it doesn't end there. That statement doesn't come. No studio makes that statement. No studio makes that statement. And because they made that statement, see, for us, authenticity is the currency. Authenticity is the currency here on YouTube and stuff. People forget that, but that's the truth. Ego is the currency in Hollywood. Always has been, always will be. You know who? That statement made some people look bad. Do you know who it made look bad? Kathleen Kennedy. It made her look bad. You know what made look bad on the week of their investment call? Disney. You know who it made look bad? Bob Iger. You know what organization it made look really fucking bad? Lucasfilm. And I doubt everybody at Lucasfilm is pissed off about this settlement. You know, Pablo Hidalgo is quietly going to Kathleen Kennedy's office going, I can't believe we capitulated to Gina Carano and MAGA. I promise you that's what they're saying to a man, woman, they, them, with their fucking tranny kids, whatever the fuck they are. That's what they're saying in Lucasfilm. That's a fucking win, baby. And now they're all stuck dealing with each other. Good luck, retards. No, Beardo? Shane. I thought Tiss was his week. You never know. Next American Eagle, Gina in jeans making KK tab. Oh my God. American Eagle? I got an idea. I mean, they're single-handedly bringing back the Canadian tuxedo, which props for that, right? But yeah, that's a good idea. Gina and Sydney in like a muscle car. Yeah, that'd be rad. Shit, I'd buy a pair of jeans. I would. G1 Soundwave for $10. Hey, found out a friend took his own life. Took his own life Tuesday. Wanted to thank you guys for bringing some levity to the week. He was only 19. Yeah, I've lost a couple of friends. One of them at that age. I didn't have the heart to put that in the book. Maybe I'll put it in the audio book, but it ain't fun. Yep. I feel you. Sorry. Dante Gray for 50 Danish krona. Is anyone going to watch Sherlock and His Daughter or the new Troll 2 sequel to the woke Norwegian movie of 2022? Sherlock and His Daughter, isn't that Lupin? Probably not. Snacks for $2. Saw Darkman last night. Thanks for the recommend. Dude, Darkman is the shit. It's basically The Shadow and Clayface. So it's The Shadow, Sam Raimi, Liam Neeson. Fantastic movie. It's in 4K too. Go watch Darkman by Sam Raimi. Hey guys, question for what is Naked Gun other than the same of James Gunn's sex? Is it the same as James Gunn's sex tape? Also, Can I get a birthday shout out? Happy birthday, Troop Captain, for $20. All the cool people have birthdays in August. That's right. Glad Gina got paid. Would have rather seen Discovery. I would too. Brightest day, but wasn't our lawsuit. When will the audiobook come out? Well, we're having a meeting today, right, X-Ray Girl? Little short meeting today. So I don't know when it's going to come out, but it's going to start this month. Mr. Blue Sky, great song, for $20 says, Hail FNT, the panel and chat. Just wanted to say that I hope you all have a great day, Friday and weekend. Also want to thank you all for hosting the place where I can get a weekly dose of laughs and DEI. Cheers. Yes, exactly. Last week I quit alcohol and weed. Good, David. Stay on it, brother. And you're probably going to be happier. Just watch Naked Gun 3, thumbs up. Oh, super good. Gary, is Rags coming back at all? Yes, he will. Did anyone see Weapons? We all did, and we reviewed it. Remember, professional streamers, everyone. That's what we are. That's what we are. Hello, FNT. Since both of you and Jeremy Johns had good stuff to say about Naked Gun, I am going to watch it soon. I also watched the show and the movies with adult eyes in preparation for it. That's good. I don't know if I recommend that. It was 12 hours of pure laughter. Stuff you miss as a kid. You're much funnier, like Liam Neeson grabbing the stone dildo, looking not Liam Neeson, Leslie Nielsen. Fucking Naked Guns are so fucking funny. They're so good. Thoughts on Infamous Iron Man, Books of Doom? I love Books of Doom. I love Books of Doom. Who's your favorite Gore? Frank, Chris, or Nick? Frank. Shlomi Leaner for $4.99. Hey, Gary, have you ever read Magic Bullet? It's the comic where Punisher teams up with Doctor Strange, and it's awesome so far. No. JD Vance, I'm looking into UFOs. Gary, that's great, but release the Epstein files first. Gary doesn't fall for bullshit. Personally, I'd rather have UFOs because the UFO files probably exist and the Epstein files never did. Just want to tell everybody, just in case you didn't know, nobody kept a fucking file of Epstein, and if there was one compromising name on that flight log or anything else, it was burned. It was burned years ago. And I'm not coping. These fucking idiots shouldn't have come out and said anything at all, ever. Because you think they would be a little more savvy than that. Not Madam Savvy, just savvy. I mean, you can like Madam Savvy too. That's cool. She's better than Beardo. But yeah. It sucks to have a pragmatic view of life, but that's just it. Think about it. If this was a truly compromising list, somebody just put it in a file and kept it in a filing cabinet somewhere, going, they'll never find it. Are you kidding me? Fuck no. That thing was shredded, burned, turned into peat, and recycled as a fire lighter. Filthy Casual for $5. After years of IVF surgeries and 5 miscarriages, my wife gave birth to our son on July 29th. Yeah. Please say hello to little. Please say hello to little Adolf Stalin Pol Pot. You know what? If you really named him that would have been fucking great. Great. All right. We're going to wrap it up there. We got to wrap it up there. I got to get out of here. I got some work to do today. Adolf Stalin Pol Pot, the little terror. All right. Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone who've left the super chat and donation. Wait, I got to get some member. Gary, years ago mentioned you had a Japanese yen story, but never elaborated on it. Is that story in the book? I'll elaborate on it sometime. I do have a Japanese yen story where I stole a bunch of yen. New member, Pooty 360. What's up? Morning, says Alpha Chad. Fanor did nothing wrong, brother. Morning, Gary. Hope everyone is having a good day. I almost died today. Don't what? Don't die. That would suck. Said Zoltan says the episodic way on One Piece is useless because there is the anime and the manga, and someone doubts the story. They can read or watch that. Well, Zen Zoltan, a lot of people watch the live action and won't read the anime or watch animation. Animation's a barrier. It is a barrier that prevents many, many people. I guarantee you, more people. One Piece live action created more One Piece fans than One Piece itself has, probably combined in 5 years. And I know One Piece is big. I know how big it is. But the live action created a lot of fans. It makes it more accessible to newer people. Because like Zen Zoltan, I like One Piece. The animation is great. So that's a barrier. So it's not, animation can be great and it's still a barrier for some people. Animation ain't great. Storytelling is. World building is great. World building is awesome. Characterization is awesome. I love it. But and it's huge around the rest of the world. But if you want to get like tapped into the Western market, you have to get to kids. But if you want to get to adults and stuff, that's how you did it. So I think it's stupid. Now, their biggest, where I'll agree with you, Zen Zoltan, is taking fucking 3 years to do this shit and just make 8 episodes. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. So look for live action One Piece to probably go like 4 seasons. That's about it. Plus, the kids will be too old. But go watch the anime. Hi, Gary. Is there any news on the UK meetup? I haven't heard you mention it for a while. Sorry if I did. No news yet. All right.
There's a couple more here on the rant side.
Away.
This PGMD81 for $20 says, "Hail Gary, the Nooner is awesome. Keep on trucking."
Thank you.
Jay Toma for $5 says, "I saw a clip of you, Drinker, and Chris Gore at a premiere, and Drinker is getting interviewed. What was that?"
Oh, that was Sketch. So that's Angel Studios. So we were at Comic-Con. It's on their Instagram, and I think we reshared it.
Yes.
I could put it up on Twitter. But Angel Studios invited Drinker, me, Chris, Alan Ing, Chris's wonderful lady was there. Melissa was there. And we went to a premiere, and it's a premiere for the Angel Guild. All right. So they do a full-on Hollywood premiere. They usually don't do them in Los Angeles. They did it as kind of a troll. And Angel Studios is based in Utah. It is owned by Mormons. It is a faith-based studio, but they will branch out into, they're not overtly faith-based, and they will branch out into other things. They will take chances on movies that other studios would not. And that's what Sketch is. Sketch is a movie that they bought, kind of like Sound of Freedom. Remember that little movie, Sound of Freedom, guys? That's Angel Studios. So Angel Studios is cool. I like them. They are outside of the Hollywood apparatus, and it's part of decentralizing Hollywood. So I support them 100%. I saw the movie, and I think it was a charming kids movie, shot like a horror movie with a really deep theme. And the acting by the kids was like, my favorite character is one of the kids. So, and it was a trippy little movie, and I liked it. So it's out in theaters. You can go watch it. But that's what that premiere was Angel Studios.
This is the last one. Ryan Kinnell with $10 says,
"Oh boy."
I hate that I'm saying this. "How does Jeremy handle his liquor? Usually by holding Dan Bask by the ears."
I'm glad she told that joke. Oh no. Oh no. Terrible. Okay, thank you, Modrotics. Thanks to everyone on Rumble. Thanks to everyone on YouTube. Thanks to everyone else. We'll see you tomorrow on Real BBC. I got to go work on a video and a meeting. I'm so busy today. I've got like 4 hours of work. X-Ray Girl, what am I going to do? X-Ray Girl, come back.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? So the meeting is for the audiobook, right?
Yes. We're getting advice.
We're getting some advice from somebody who's done an audiobook before.
Ton of audiobooks.
A ton of audio. As a matter of fact, a ton of audiobooks that I own,
Yes.
which is really cool. Which is really cool. So, yeah, that's what we're doing later today. And I'm going to work on a video that'll come out tomorrow. And, real quick programming note, Real BBC. I think I'm going to want to do it earlier tomorrow. I think we should start it at 10. I haven't told the guys, but we're just going to work it out here in public. Okay.
Okay.
That won't put any
Sounds
pressure.
good.
That won't
Public meeting.
It won't put any pressure on them at all. And then, so I can get the video. Otherwise, it's got to go on Az's channel because I got to release the video and it's notification, which we still might. Yeah, I might do. I mean, just call them. I'm working this out. But there will be a Real BBC tomorrow for sure. And then tomorrow night at around, I think it's 8 or 9 ish, Mahler and I are going to go live talking about Alien Earth, unless it's more than one episode. So it's whenever
it's 2 episodes.
It's 2 episodes. So whenever the episodes end, we're going to go live like old school, like House of the Dragon, and we're going to discuss the first 2 episodes. So join us on Nerdrotic tomorrow evening, and we will do a live review of Alien Earth. All right, now we got to go.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.